Grand Rising family. Thank you so much for joining us this rising. I'm so glad to see so many people waiting in the chat for us to go live today because there's so much to discuss. I appreciate you waiting on us. Check in. Let us know who you are, where you're hailing from. I see we got 50 people so far that's been waiting. So come on in. More people will join. We'll play our intro music to give you time to get your coffee, your tea, your water, your notepad, and your questions together. Check in, family.
Dr. Kia preached, shining wisdom's light.
Come on in the room.
Soul tribe, how to see through the night. Ancient scriptures and bloodlines.
Welcome to our newest member. Thank you for being a part of Soul Tribe. Welcome. It's good to have you here. Darius Glover, God bless you. Thank you. Check in, family.
Kia shows the way to a brighter, freer day.
It's my pleasure. Keep checking in.
Knowledge flows.
So glad to see everybody. Keep checking in. I'll be back on the screen in just a minute. If you're ready for this deliverance message of how we can prepare for an emergency, put hashtag Freedom Now in the chat. We're taking our liberty back. We're taking our sovereignty back. We're taking our wealth back. Hashtag Freedom Now in the comments section, in the chat. Come on, family. Hashtag Freedom Now.
Dr. Kia shows the way to a brighter, freer day. From currencies to investments divine, she's helping her tribe to realign with wisdom, ancient and new, showing what we all can do. Soul tribe rising, hear her call, raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia shows the way to a brighter, freer day. Soul tribe rising, hear her call.
Check in, family.
Raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia lights the way
Yes.
to a new and brighter
Hey,
day.
family, check in. All right, family. I am so happy to see everybody from all over the world. Hashtag Freedom Now. Why did we choose that as a hashtag? Because all across the globe, countries are declaring that they are now sovereign. They're declaring their sovereignty. They've repatriated their gold back to themselves. They've stopped trading with the United States dollar. They've stopped buying United States Treasury bonds. They're dropping those Treasury bonds. Is it that they don't care about America? No, they love America. They're waiting on us to stand up and take our government back because the rogue government, the United States Incorporated, no longer exists. Remember when I told you all that the Supreme Court overturned the Chevron doctrine? We've been talking about that since what, 2024? What did that mean? What did that do? When the Supreme Court overturned the Chevron doctrine that limited the powers of the government, because the doctrine had given the United States government power to do whatever they want, to create any statutes, codes, policies, and legalities they wanted, and they would force us to abide by them. So the Supreme Court of the United States in the summer of 2024 shut down that doctrine. Once they shut down that doctrine, they said the government has been acting as a rogue element. See this? June 28, 2024, Supreme Court strikes down Chevron, curtailing powers of federal agencies. Okay? They were setting the precedent for what we see happening today. Department of Justice has seen tens of thousands of people storm out or walk out of their jobs. USA did an audit and discovered that a lot of money that was supposed to be going to help third world countries or developing countries was not, but they were putting in liberal agendas while they were padding their pockets. So when the Supreme Court overturned the Chevron doctrine, they said that the government was operating treasonously. And all, at that time, 441 government offices actually had to be shut down. They went a step further and they said that any judges that knew about the government being treasonous or operated treasonably in alignment with the government, any judges that knew of it and participated in their shenanigans also committed treason. But of course, judges committed treason as well as many attorneys because they passed the bar, British Accredited Registry, meaning they work for the British Crown. That's why Charles came over here and gave a speech letting us know this is the end of maritime law, admiralty law, the end of the government. So the Supreme Court shut down or overturned the Chevron doctrine and said that 441 agencies like the FBI, the CIA, were all treasonous, as well as the judges and attorneys. And so that is why when President Trump came back in 2025, he created Department of Government Efficiency and shut down the government. We had a government shutdown. What he was doing was eliminating all government agencies. Okay. This is the Federal Registry. It was 441 at the time that the Supreme Court of the United States overturned the Chevron doctrine. Now on the Federal Registry, 445, you can see a list of them from A to Z. All those departments of Departments of the A, agriculture, what else? Air quality, appellation, this and that, commission of, committee of, defense departments, FBI, CIA, IRS. I want to show you tomorrow how we know the IRS has been shut down. Homeland Security, all of them from A to Z have to be shut down. And if there are any of the federal government agencies that could be used to help us, they will come under the umbrella of what? The Republic. So I put that in the chat for you. I put a list of all those federal agencies so you can see it for yourself. This is why the Department of Education completely shut down. And that's also why the Treasury Department issued out a report saying that $17 trillion of student loan debt was transferred from the Department of Education to the Treasury Department. Hear me out. The $17 trillion of student loan debt that many of you and I have had been transferred from the Department of Education to the Treasury Department because the Treasury Department said we are the experts. What they didn't tell you is the only entity on this land that can deal with anything as it relates to money, gold, banking, finance, even debt. The only entity that can deal with that lawfully is the United States Treasury Department. If this isn't proof that the Republic has been restored, I don't know what to show you. But I'm going to show you one more thing before we get into why we are here today with our special guest. We had on the show last night Chief Rod Hayes. He's been operating for years working and teaching about how the republic has been restored and the government has been shut down. I've been working for years. Most recently, we heard of Empress Redberg, who's working with Chief Rod Hayes. He's been doing the work for years. He and I met as we both have been in this work for a decade or more. Chief Rod Hayes told us last night that all the government is waiting on is you and me. Hashtag freedom now in the chat, please. Put hashtag freedom now, because the government has been closed. Remember when I showed you, just give me one more minute, how the U.S. Treasury issued out a report that said that the government is insolvent? Remember that? That report came out September 2025, but mainstream media didn't report on it. We knew it was insolvent. We knew it was bankrupt, right? Because we heard about it behind the scenes. Some of us have contact with military and other intel. But for the Treasury Department to declare the United States government is insolvent, that's huge, because the Treasury Department, again, is the only department that can deal with money. A lot of people didn't know this. This is why government officials are losing their job. They're asked to take early retirement. Some of them are just being fired. Look at this. The Treasury Department just declared the U.S. is insolvent. Did y'all see that? A pop-up came up. The media missed it. No, the media refused to report it. So the government is insolvent. No countries around the world are buying up their treasury bonds, which means they weren't making any money, right? The federal government can no longer operate. And what about the Federal Reserve central banking system? They're also defunct, insolvent, and bankrupt. Hashtag freedom now. And now we know we're not controlled by the federal government or the central banking system. Because when the Supreme Court overturned the Chevron doctrine, unlimiting the powers of the government and saying that it had to be dismantled and it was treasonous, and the judges and attorneys that participated committed treason, and any judge that knew of a judge that allowed this to happen committed misprision of treason. The following month in July, the Supreme Court came back in 2024. People missed it. So they said in June, we declared that we shut down or overturned the Chevron doctrine. We declared the government as treasonous. In July, they came and they said that state-sponsored banks can operate independently from and outside of the Federal Reserve central banking system, and state-sponsored banks can now issue out their own gold-backed currency. That means now no more Federal Reserve Bank. And we'll go into that a little more later tomorrow, just to prove that. I'm just setting the foundation, because this is huge, that the government is shut down, that there's no more Federal Reserve, that states now have control. Because according to the Republic, states are countries. That's our lawful government. And then finally, I want to show you something that Chief Rod Hayes told us about, and he provided the proof. People missed it. President Donald Trump issued this statement out January the 4th, 2025. Remember, Supreme Court overturned the Chevron doctrine. Then they said we're going to, because the doctrine had given the government unlimited powers. They said, no, we're curtailing your powers, right? June 2024, July 2024, the Supreme Court came back and said, we're shutting down the Federal Reserve. Now state-sponsored banks can operate independently and separately from the Federal Reserve central banking system, right? State-sponsored banks then start accumulating gold in record numbers. You can look that up. And issuing out gold backs, right? Then President Trump came in 2025, when he came back, because he was the president even when Biden was the president behind the scenes. What did he say? Notice the patriots. This is to inform all patriots that effective immediately, All governments and government corporations are hereby dissolved due to breach of oath. Additionally, all statutory and foreign laws are also dissolved. The only legal frameworks that remain in effect are constitutional law, as outlined in Article 61 of the Magna Carta, and established common law. The Republic has been restored, our lawful government. This directive is specifically for corporate bodies. Excuse me. See, I messed that up. I'm sorry, fam, I had to go back to it. But you get my point, right? The government has been dissolved. I don't know what happened where I lost that on the screen, but that's important for you all to see. I'll bring it up. The government is completely gone. And that might be hard for people to fathom, but this is why government workers were asked to take early retirement. This is why we're under a partial government shutdown right now. It's really a government shutdown altogether. So I'm gonna bring that back up because you have to see this, and we'll go in detail tomorrow. Okay, I'm gonna bring it back up just so you can see. And I'll try not to get off of that. You see how I've been having issues lately? Anytime we talk about what's going on with the government being dissolved, this might be why we had 8 channels removed. So the system form off patriots effective immediately. All governments and government corporations are hereby dissolved due to breach of oath. Additionally, all statutory and foreign laws are also dissolved. The only legal framework that remains in effect are constitutional law as outlined in Article 61 of the Magna Carta, and established common law. This directive is specifically for corporate bodies and government workers. Any government corporate body, including police, judges, lawyers, and any individuals operating in these capacities, must cease operations immediately. Those who continue to operate after this notice will be liable for prosecution for fraud and breach of oath. It is imperative that all governmental workers, comply with this directive. Failure to adhere may result in serious consequences, including potential military action. This is why in 2025, when soon as President Trump came back, he met with the military and released the National Guard. Remember that? Because if anybody does not comply with the directive to stand down, all government officials, all police officers who are policy enforcers of the corporation, the fake government called the United States government, if they don't stand down, if judges don't stand down, if lawyers who are really attorneys and judges are really administrators, if they don't stand down, then the government will take over. There will be military action. This reminds you of motu proprio, that letter that came out from Pope Francis in 2014, and that was issued out to Obama. It is imperative that all workers comply or they'll get military action. Let us unite in upholding our constitutional right and ensuring the stability of our freedoms. End of notice. Family, please put #freedom now. This is a way for us to all get in on this. We're getting the energy up that we have been set free. But the deep state, the cabal, the Illuminati, the United States Incorporated, the group of bloodline families that took over our lawful republic, constitutional law included, they don't want to let go. However, FBI raids, you can look at my videos on YouTube, just do Dr. Kia Pruitt FBI raids, have happened all across the land to force these people to stand down. Even the FBI will have to stand down after that. The military that was released by President Trump is doing massive arrests. We'll talk tomorrow about senators, congressmen stepping down and really being arrested. So why did I bring on a special guest today? Because I don't want you to be caught off guard. Because while all this is happening, airports are experiencing problems. Planes have been delayed. Flights have been delayed and halted. Spirit, which is one of those airplane companies, completely shut down. They're not the only ones. Others were shut down. A lot of people are trying to flee the country, and Trump is saying not so. Flights have been halted. Raids have happened at the airports. Raids have happened at the ports of entry, the water ports, where they have actually arrested port workers who were bringing in drugs. People are stepping down. Banks are closing. The ones that remain will be wealth management centers. And at the same time, we get news of wildfires. Farmer Dre knows about that. I saw him doing a report on that. He's from Jacksonville and migrated to Georgia to start his homestead and his farm for his family, to secure his family. We're hearing of wildfires, not just in Georgia and Florida, but it's all across America. Mainstream media is not reporting it. Wildfires, airplanes being halted, ports being raided by the FBI, and now we hear of a new virus, the hantavirus. Got to be careful saying this word, that they're saying is spreading across the nation. They could do another shutdown. We know the Department of Education has been closed. President Trump froze the money of the United States, the federal Department of Education, and he released it to the states because now states have their power back. Hashtag freedom now, family, in the comment section, please. So I brought on a young man who migrated from Florida to Georgia. He had a conversation with his wife, and he's like, I've been thinking about this thing. Years ago, God moved on his heart and said, prepare your family, your tribe, your community, and society. And it just so happened his wife was on the same wavelength. And she said, baby, I've been thinking the same thing. And they packed up and they moved, bought some land. He came on before and told us how to buy land affordably, how to get grants to get land. And while he's been on the land, he's been teaching people how to grow their own food. So I'm bringing him on today to teach you how to prepare. The last time we saw stuff happening where, everybody was kind of hearing news of a virus and some wonky stuff was going on in the government, they shut down the whole world. Could they do it again? Even if they don't, are you prepared for another pandemic or virus? Do you have herbs? Do you have what he taught me is called a bug out bag? Do you have a list of farmers with whom you can network in the event you can't get to the grocery store? You should have their phone numbers right now. You should be building relationships with local merchants and farmers right now, because everybody doesn't have the opportunity or the time to grow their own food. Hashtag freedom now, please, in the comment section. So Farmer Dre is back to teach us how to prepare in the event of an emergency. Family, without any further ado, please help me introduce to some and present to others a gentleman, a young man that I've come to know and really respect and appreciate, none other than our brother, the farmer and mentor of the Soul Tribe, Farmer Dre. Welcome, Farmer Dre.
What is going on, everybody? What's going on, Tribe? Good to be on.
Good to have you here.
Yes, thank you. That was a great introduction, Dr. Kia. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Farmer Dre. Thank you for agreeing to come on, because it's a lot happening, and I know you've been preparing the tribe and your tribe as well, Set Apart Garden, for anything that could happen.
Absolutely.
Anything. Before we get started, can you let us know what made you get into the business of homesteading or farming?
Yes, absolutely. Kind of what you were hinting on and talking about as far as me and my wife having that conversation, but really it was a video that I watched that really changed my perspective. And it was by another Black farmer named Renard Turner. Look him up if you get a chance.
Okay.
And he lives up in Virginia, and he was talking about how, especially us as melanated people, us as Black people, we've gotten so far away from, the land and how our ancestors used to live. And now most of us are too dependent. And if, we ever want to even think about being revolutionaries or, rising up and everything like that, then we couldn't do that if we can't control our own food source. because if somebody controls your
Ooh.
food source, then they control you. So how can you sit here and try to, uprise and all that type of stuff? So he was talking all this stuff, and I was like, you know what, he's right, because
Mm.
man, like, we are so dependent. If you think about your everyday life, the things that you need, whether it's shelter, food, water, most of us provide none of it. Most of us don't know how
Oh,
to provide it. And
that's
so,
right.
yeah, that right there got my wheels turning. And I said, man, we need to start growing some food. We need to learn this.
Mm.
And, me and my wife, we started where we were at. We lived up in the suburbs. We lived up in Richmond, Virginia at the time. And we were living
Mm.
in the suburbs in the cul-de-sac. But in our backyard, we had a garden. We had chickens. And we were just learning how to
Oh.
get back to the land. And then we eventually,
Mm.
purchased this land down here. And we just started doing it, dive headfirst into it.
Mm.
Yep.
That's awesome. Now, how do you feel about hearing this news that a virus may be spreading again, and the government is downsizing, people are losing their jobs? How,
Yep.
as a farmer, what thoughts run through your mind?
Now, the crazy thing about it is I was actually affected by, the government downsizing. I was a
Oh.
federal employee for 6 years. I worked for the USDA, and I also worked for the Department of the Army. And last year I actually took that deal that they were offering to
Mm.
retire early and different things like that. So it actually personally affected me. But just
Mm.
seeing everything, it just confirmed that I'm on the right track as far as
Mm.
preparing,
Mm.
because years ago, even before the first virus and everything like that, it was just in my spirit. The Most High put it in my spirit to prepare now, prepare now.
Mm.
And sure enough, as I started preparing, as we bought the land and we started buying equipment and tools and livestock and all of this stuff, seeds, that everything that he was telling me to prepare for actually started coming to fruition. So just seeing these new VIRUSs, and all this stuff, it's just like, okay, it can happen again. Most people think, okay, the first pandemic was, it was just something that was out of the ordinary, but it's like, no, it can happen again.
Mm.
And a lot of times I think these things are engineered, and they're planned, but that's neither here nor there. But it's just confirming, like, hey, don't get too comfortable. Don't let
Mm.
yourself become pacified by, what they're telling you, because a lot of people just want to go back to normalcy,
We
and we
do.
will never go back to normalcy.
Really? Never?
I don't.
Okay.
Well, I believe it's gonna get a lot worse before it gets better.
And the government is shut down,
Yeah,
and we saw President Trump said everybody got to stand down. So you're right, it'll never
yeah,
be the same.
yeah. It'll never
It's
be the
going to
same.
be
When
a
I
whole
say,
reality.
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's a different reality. I yield.
That's what I'm saying. So when I'm saying it'll never go back to normalcy, I'm meaning, like, as far as how life once was, especially in this country, we won't experience that again. Now we may get back to a place where it's a little bit better, but some laws may have changed, some things may have changed. Like you say, they're dissolving certain entities in the government, so it's like it won't be the same as we once knew it. So it's important to just prepare to learn how to get back to the land and learn how to grow food and all that type of stuff. And I'm gonna get into a lot of the skills and the things that we need to
Mm.
buy and all that type of stuff. So
Yes.
I'm gonna wait, until you get into that.
Okay. So people are they're welcoming you. They're saying no fear. Everybody stay calm. I agree with that.
Yes,
Because what do you say about proactivity? People that prepare ahead of time.
absolutely. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Like I always
Ooh.
tell even my subscribers and my family, my tribe, it's not about being scared, but it's
Mm.
about being prepared.
Mm.
I actually did a video on the Hanta, the Hanta VIRUS, and some people were like, "Oh, this is fear mongering." I'm like, no, because I'm not saying what it's going to turn out to be. I'm just saying you need to
Mhm.
have your eyes open. So I'm more so as far as advocating, hey, be prepared. Always
Mm.
look and see what's going on. Never sit here and just assume that
Mm.
it'll all work itself out.
Mhm.
Don't assume that. Just be on the lookout for everything, and always hope for the best, but prepare for the worst.
Very good. All right. Well, that's a great segue into how do we prepare? Because, like you said,
Yep,
we just want everything to be normal. Okay.
absolutely.
But you said we need to prepare. So, how do we prepare, Farmer Dre? And take your time. I'm here.
Okay, cool. So the first thing, don't panic. I tell people this all the time. The worst thing you can do is panic if you're put in any sort of scenario. Most
Mm.
people, let's say they find themselves swept up in the current. And if they panic, then they probably won't make it out of that. You know what I'm saying? But if they
Mhm.
calm themselves and say, hey, okay, what can I do? All right, let me try to float, or let me try to ride the current. Let me not try to fight against it. Then you can survive, from potentially drowning. And it's the same thing with anything. So if you see a lot of these things happening and going wrong in the government, economically, don't panic.
Okay.
Actually, you should get a laser like focus and say, okay, how can I strategize to overcome this? How can I ensure my safety and my family's safety? And you start making a
Mm,
plan. So that's the first
mm.
thing of how you prepare, is you don't panic. Be prepared,
Okay.
not scared.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And so that's the first thing. And then so the second thing is this: how can we prepare now? I'm an advocate for skills, learning skills.
Okay.
A lot of people think, oh, I got to go out and buy this and buy that. But if you don't have the skills to, navigate what you're buying, and learn how to use
Mm,
what you're buying, then it makes no sense to buy all this equipment and buy all this stuff in a bug out bag and all that if you don't know how to use these things. It makes no sense to go out and buy land, especially if you haven't got the skills or don't plan on getting the skills to develop that land and to work that
mm.
land. So I'm an advocate for skills. And I'm going to name some of these skills, so y'all, take notes, write them down, and everything like that. But the first thing is gardening, and this is in no particular order. This is just things I was just thinking of. But the first
Okay.
skill is gardening. Learn how to garden, learn how to put a seed in the ground, and watch it, sprout up and produce fruit. You can start small. You can start with herbs. You can start with
Okay.
some easier crops. Potatoes are easy to grow. Um, what else is okra is pretty easy to grow. Leafy greens, are easy to grow. But just learn how to put a seed in the ground and watch it come up into fruition, and
Can
produce
I
some
ask you a
food.
question?
Yes, go ahead.
What if some people say, I don't have a yard, I don't have land?
Yes, that's a great question. There's a lot of different options. Let's say, do you got a patio? Because if you have a patio, you could do a container garden. You can get 5-gallon buckets. You can get
Mm,
pots. Anything that can hold soil can grow food. It doesn't matter
okay.
how big or small it is. You know what I'm saying? Let's
Yes.
say you drink coffee. The coffee cans, you can, once you're done with those, you could drill holes in the bottom and you could put some soil in those coffee cans and grow food in that. So if you don't have a yard, do you have a balcony? Do you have some sort of patio where you got space? Because I mean, let's just say, you got a little small patio. Okay, well, do 3 to 5 big 5-gallon buckets and grow, 3 to 5 different crops. At least just
Mm,
grow something. I don't care if it's one crop, two crops, at least start growing something. Let's say you don't have that. Okay, do you have family members that you maybe can borrow their backyard? Do you,
mm.
is there a community garden in your area where you can go? Let's say you stay in an apartment complex. Is there a empty lot or a vacant lot and patch of land that you can ask, hey, can I start a little, community garden, and everybody can come and pitch in? So where there's a will, there is a way.
Mm. Farmer Dre, if say somebody says, okay, I don't necessarily have the money to do that,
Hmm.
what do you think about us being connected to other farmers? Like, will we have, is that a good thing to do? Should we have a list of farmers or,
Yeah, that's
farmers markets or something?
Yeah, that's definitely a good thing to do. Yeah, like you say, farmers markets. You can go and network with different farmers at farmers markets. You can Google different farms in your area, and look up different homesteaders in your area and gardeners. But I would say go into these Facebook groups. Where it's like,
Mm,
gardeners in the state of Georgia or in the city wherever you
mm,
live and what state you live in. There's a lot of
okay.
different groups. Especially Black farmer groups. See if there's anybody in your area who homesteads, farms, gardens, and you can go and network with them and ask, hey, can I be connected with you? Can I learn from you, or can I potentially buy from you? So it's all about networking, absolutely, and getting
And
connected.
Farmer Dre, we have people chime in from all over the world.
Hmm.
Would you suggest they do this? I don't know how other countries work. I don't know if you
Right.
know either. I just
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know. I'm pretty sure they have Facebook, and I'm pretty sure they
Okay.
may have Facebook groups in other countries, but I don't really know the ins and outs of other countries.
Okay, okay. And I'll yield. Here is Farmer Dre's Facebook group right here. It's called Set Apart Gardens LLC. He's very active here, and he'll talk more about where other social media outlets. But he brought up joining Facebook groups, so I'll put
Hmm.
his link in the chat as well. All right,
Thank you. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Yep.
Next, next on your list, Farmer Dre.
All right. So you got gardening, first aid, learning first aid on a basic level. I was in the military for just under 12 years. And one of the things they taught us was a combat life-saving course, which is basically if you're on the battlefield, just learning how to treat different things. If somebody is bleeding out, learning how to put on a tourniquet, and just different things like that. But learning basic first aid, because if all these things shut down, let's say the hospital shut down, and somebody in your family gets injured or sick, you need to learn how to do CPR. You need to learn how to disinfect the wound and different things like that. So first aid is another one.
Okay.
Is another skill. Another one is fishing. I love fishing. I grew up fishing. I'm from Florida, of course, so we right there by the water. So I grew up fishing, but fishing is a skill that can feed you for a lifetime. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You can go out with one fishing pole, and a lot of times you don't even gotta buy bait. You can learn how to, catch your own bait and go out and fish. And if you can fish, man, I'm telling you, like you can provide food for your family. That's just one of those skills I say learn how to do. Start with one fishing pole. Just start simple. You can start freshwater. You can start saltwater. It doesn't really matter. But just start somewhere. Learn just a basic skill of fishing. Another thing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Now to say I love that idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing is foraging. Foraging is basically going out into the woods and everything and learning how to identify plants that can potentially be edible versus what's poisonous, what not to eat. Because a lot of the times, because I got a lot of woods around me, on my property that I got to clear. But in those woods is not only edible plants, but it's also medicine in those, in the woods and everything like that.
Wow.
It's a lot of wild stuff growing that can, be helpful for your health overall. Different herbs that grow, natural herbs that grow. Another one is like a thistle. I don't know if you see those little spiky plants, but those are called thistles. Those are very good for your organs, like your liver and stuff like that. But it's a lot of different things as far as identifying plants that could potentially be helpful to you that you may not even have to grow. You may have it, growing wild on your property or near you. Dandelions. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to ask you, how would you know how to identify them? But dandelions, we all know what those are. Go
Right.
ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah, and dandelions are very healthy for you. But how to identify them? You can buy books. I'm an advocate for buying books, and I got one book suggestion. I'm gonna bring it up a little later. But you can buy books that can teach you how to identify stuff. And also you got Google, you got the internet. You got ChatGPT, all that type of stuff that will help you identify certain plants, certain trees. So I would say definitely buy books. But now that we have cell phones, there are apps that you can download that will identify plants for you. I thought I had one downloaded. Oh yeah, it's called Picture This. And so you basically take a picture of whatever it is that's growing wild, and then it'll basically tell you what that is. So it's called Picture This. But if you look up Plant Identifier app, you can download that as well.
Okay. That's amazing. Okay, I see you all have questions. He'll get to the questions in a few minutes. I just want him to go through his bullet points. Yeah. And if you are enjoying this family, he does have a wife and children, and he has businesses that he's running. But if you want to support him, please do. He's a young farmer, young man. I'm not going to ask him his age, but I think he about the same age as my children, around somewhere in his early 30s.
Yeah.
But he got
31.
31. That's young. He's got a young family, children. They're homeschooling. So if you want to support him, you can send a Cashapp to $SAPGARDEN1. That's SAP Garden 1. That's his Cashapp. Garden $SAP Garden 1. And I also put it in the ticker at the bottom because I don't want to disrupt them too much. All right, Farmer. Yes,
ma'am.
Farmer.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yep. So after foraging, basic carpentry skills, basic building skills, learning how to build basic structures, basic setups, chicken coops, different things to house animal, livestock, and even protection for yourself. So if you find yourself stranded in the woods somewhere, you know how to build a little basic shelter to get out of the rain, to get out of the cold. So basic carpentry skills is another one. Cooking outdoors and learning how to start fires.
Wow.
Because, let's just say the grid goes down, God forbid, but let's just say the grid goes down, or it could be a natural disaster. Down here in the Southeast, we get hurricanes, right? Sometimes tornadoes that can knock power out. Hurricane Helene knocked our power out for like a week. But I knew how to cook outside. I grill a lot. So learning how to just cook outside, start a fire, start some coals, get something hot to heat it up, because you don't got the oven. You don't have the microwave. You don't have the air fryer. So learning how to cook outdoors is another skill that I suggest people learn as well.
Before you go on, Farmer Dre, so We need to probably start getting coals now.
Yes, charcoal. Yep.
Charcoal. What else? What else in case something shuts down and we have to start cooking out? What else to
Absolutely.
cook out? Because the men always do the grilling in my family, so I don't know what I need to get.
No, absolutely. So I would say get some sort of, you can get a grill, a regular grill, a small grill. You can also get it's like I forget what it's called, but it's like one of those prepper grills to where it's just like, it's not like a traditional grill, but I forget what it's called. But somebody in the chat probably knows what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But you can get like a grate or something like that, and you can make your own grill out of cinder blocks and stuff like that. But charcoal, hard lump charcoal, because you can use it not only for grilling, but you can also use it like medicinally. You know, charcoal, activated charcoal is very, very good for you. Like say somebody eats something poisonous or swallow something poisonous, then that activated charcoal, they can swallow that and it'll bring that up. But charcoal is, and you can also use charcoal inside a water filter. If you want to make your own water filter to filtrate your own water, you can use charcoal in that as well. But yeah, so I would say
wood chips.
Go ahead, I'm sorry. Yes, wood chips. Get an axe so you can learn how to cut down your own trees, and you can get your own firewood that way as well. But yeah, wood chips, charcoal. You can also get a propane setup as well. You know, have you a propane tank in a boiler or something like that, and you can use that to cook outside as well. But those are the things, and also tumbleweeds. Yeah, they're basically like fire starters. You light it up, and then it'll burn for a little while, and it'll heat up your coals for you. It'll heat up your charcoal. The tumbleweeds will.
And so what do you use? What do you use to set the fire? Like, so you got the tumbleweed, you got all this stuff. Do you need a lighter or what?
Yep, lighter, matches.
Matches. I'm thinking of lighters. You can use old-fashioned matches.
Yep, lighters, matches. You can also use what you call a ferro rod, and I'm going to get into that later too. That's another survival thing. But basically, a ferro rod is like a unlimited match. Like it never goes out. Like you can use that ferro rod, and you can spark it, and you can start fires with it. But yeah, matches, lighters, anything like that you can start a fire with. You can start.
Thank you for that, because I know we need to learn the skills. I'm thinking we should be starting that right now, and that means we can start getting these tools, because we don't know. Like we could get an alert, emergency alert system today, or they could just do what they did 2020 and just one day come from work and you hear the whole world shut down.
Out of the blue. Exactly. No, for real. Like, the sooner that you could prepare, the better.
Okay.
Yep. So,
what's next?
Cooking outdoors, fire starting, water purification, which I'm going to get into a little bit of that next, and some things you could buy for that. But learning how to filter your own water, learning how to do filter rainwater, rain catchment systems, and stuff like that. And I'm actively learning that myself as well. So as I'm rattling off these skills, some of them I know, some of them I'm still learning, in the process of learning. So don't feel like I've mastered everything. I'm still learning some of these things myself.
Farmer Dre, a lot of this could seem like overwhelming. Like if you're a single person, a single woman, a single man, would you advise people, you just say join Facebook groups, to maybe even physically join communities where you can work together?
Yeah, absolutely. And I will also say too, YouTube University. I've learned so much from YouTube and different content creators on YouTube that they'll make it easy for you as far as, how to do it on a basic level. So outside of joining physical communities, also look on YouTube. You can learn a lot of these skills at a basic level. You don't have to be an expert, just know how to do certain things, on a very, very basic level. Because I always say you can start small and you can expand that knowledge and that growth.
I love that you say that. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Because you had told us. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, when I'm saying YouTube University, I'm saying like not just the channel YouTube University, but just YouTube in general.
Okay.
Yeah, YouTube in general. So like you got people like Lead Farmer 73. You can look him up. He's a black guy as well. But he has taught me a lot. I've been watching him for over 6 years. He's taught me a lot. Lead Farmer, LEAD Farmer 73. And he's
Lead.
Good. Yep,
LED Farmer. Okay.
73. Okay. And he will teach you a lot. He will teach you a lot. As far as solar, fire starting, survival skills, gardening, livestock. He'll teach you a lot.
Okay. We'll pull him up and we'll put his information in chat. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yep. That's him right there. Yep.
Okay.
And also, I teach a lot of this in my tribe as well, in my school community. I teach a lot of this stuff as well. So, and as a matter of fact, next Tuesday at 7:30, we'll be going live in my school tribe, and we'll be talking
Mm-hmm.
about some of these survival skills, and specifically water and water filtration, because water is one of your basic necessities. You have three basic necessities:
Okay.
food, water, shelter. You need to learn how to provide them for yourself on a basic level. And water is really one of the most important, because you can go a long time without food, but you can't go but so long without water.
Come on.
So
Mm.
water is something that we definitely need to be trying to secure right now.
I'm going to pull up while you're talking about your school.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pull it up right here.
Okay.
It
Thank you.
Join the tribe. You're welcome. I'm a part of the tribe.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things one of your members put up is how to survive a pandemic. I thought that was right on time.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
they were chatting amongst themselves, because you got a group of like-minded people that
Absolutely.
share
Yeah.
information.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's single women in the tribe too. So I know, like you said, a lot of this can seem overwhelming to like single women or even men as well who are beginners. But we got a lot of single women who are learning it in the tribe as well. So, connect with them. They're like-minded, they're learning the same things, and we can all help each other grow.
Let me get on here. It is school.com/set apart tribe. I put it in the chat, and I'll put it in the description section, family. He has a community section here where we all we converge and people give their advice or ask questions. He has a classroom that he actually does instruction. You can look at his calendar. You see all the members. He had a map, leadership boards. I mean, all type of things. This man, I told him this morning, you're one of the hardest working people I see on YouTube. He's constantly teaching the tribe. You're welcome. How to take care of your family. Because as he said, if you don't control your food source, then you're in trouble. Whoever controls the food source controls the people.
Yep.
People always talk about controlling money. No, who's controlling the water? Because if they shut off the water or they keep poisoning it, we can't live.
Yeah.
So join the Skool family. I'm going to put the link in the description section, and I'll yield to you, Farmer Dre.
Yes. Thank you for that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So after water purification, hunting or processing animals, raising livestock, processing them, especially if you're a meat eater. I know a lot of people may be vegans too. If you're a vegan, this don't apply to you. But if you are not, then learn how to at least either learn how to hunt or learn how to raise animals and process them yourself.
What does that mean, process them?
Like take them from, being alive and put them in your freezer pretty much. Okay, so learning how to skin animals and all that type of stuff. Okay. Yeah, processing animals. I don't want to use the the real harsh words, but yes, if you are a meat eater, your meat comes from somewhere and it has to be processed. So learning how to do that yourself on the basic level, even if you just start with quail or chicken or turkeys, and then you can get into the bigger things like goat and sheep. But learning how to process animals or learning how to hunt or learning how to do both.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yep. Weaponry.
One more thing before you get to that. Back in the day, they used to have butchers.
Yeah.
So if you didn't process your own food or you didn't go to the grocery store, the butcher used to have, remember the hanging meats in the back?
Yep, absolutely.
Hanging animals, and they would have fish.
Yep.
They could be headed for you, but they would just give us whole fish. I'm 58. I'll be 58 in October. I still remember going to the local butcher and getting the fish and taking it home and chopping off the head, scaling it, gutting it myself.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that to say, even if I don't know how to do it, I'm hoping you can tell me that there are butchers that still exist. I don't eat meat anymore, so I don't know. Do they?
Yeah, I'm a butcher actually. I'm an amateur butcher, but I'm a butcher, and I actually host courses or workshops on my property where I teach people how to butcher and process animals themselves. We've done two workshops so far where we did goat, we did sheep, we've done chickens. We actually host those courses or workshops on our property. But yeah, I'm a self-taught butcher myself. But as far as like physical butchers, it's a dying trade. It's a dying trade, honestly. And I feel like it's a trade that should be coming back. And I want to get to a point to where like my one of my dreams and my goals is to open up my own processing facility, my own butcher facility. To provide healthy organic meats to people. But that's my main goal because I love doing that. Yeah. So
Thank you.
I
That's
also want to certify people and to have an academy where people can come and learn and become certified butchers.
that could be one of your humanitarian projects. I know it's going to be your business, but a
Right.
lot of us here, we know that the wealth is being returned back to the
Yep.
people, and we're going to
Yep.
have access to our social security numbers again. I mean, that's attached to a central bank, and we're
Mhm.
going to have access to our birth certificate bond, as well as the sovereign wealth fund that Trump he got together, comprised of a lot of assets that he's going to release to the people.
Right.
We need to be doing businesses and humanitarian projects. So somebody think about that. Like he's going to do a butcher academy. Think about how you can be a butcher or teach people how to
Absolutely.
process meats and grow food and purify water, et cetera, et cetera. So
Yeah.
if this is good, family, and you're enjoying this, please, put a heart in the chat and hashtag freedom now, because Farmer Dre is teaching us how to operate as sovereign, free people. We're
Absolutely.
not going to, I know people might not believe this, but we're not going to have all these Walmarts that we've been depending on. They're already closing down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're going to have to learn how to do some of this for ourselves. If you
Absolutely.
are enjoying this, please send our brother, because he's now the farmer of the soul tribe. Send him a gift, a donation to $SAP Garden One, SAPGARDEN1. Thank you, family. Hashtag freedom now, because we are having our land resources
Yes.
and sovereignty back. It's being
Yes.
restored. It's our responsibility now to take care of ourselves. And I yield to Farmer Dre.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So outside of butchering, processing animals, the next one is weaponry, learning weaponry.
Mm.
Weaponry for hunting, weaponry for self protection, self preservation. I'm an advocate for the Second Amendment. Um, yeah, yeah. I'm a military guy.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, I'm a military guy, so been around weapons and stuff like that. So if you have the right to go ahead and exercise, learn that, and see, this is the thing too. Weaponry includes all type of weaponry. It doesn't just include pew pews. It includes bow and arrows for archery, because you can hunt with
Mm.
that too. Compound bows, different things like that, but also knives and stuff like that. So just learning
Mm.
weaponry, learning how to protect yourself on a basic level, and learning how to operate a weapon just in case you need to provide food for yourself.
I see.
Yep.
I see.
And then
There's a part in the Constitution that even talks about if there's a rogue government
yeah,
that
yep,
comes
a
in that
tyrannical
you,
government.
okay, what
Yep.
what can you do?
Yeah, that's your right. So that's really the whole reason for the Second Amendment is to be able to protect yourself from a tyrannical government, a
Mm.
government that's basically overstepping their bounds. The Constitution tells us you have the right to take up arms and form militias to defend yourself against a tyrannical government.
Mm. So, as a former military man yourself, do you believe that's something that people should keep in the forefront of their mind? And okay,
Absolutely.
okay.
Absolutely. Yes.
Mm.
That's why I go so hard for the Second Amendment, because we saw our government countless times. Thank you, Sheila. We saw our government countless times overstep their bounds. A lot of times try to take some of our rights away or just do things that are unconstitutional. So it's definitely important that we,
Mm.
especially as melanated people, exercise it, because for so long we didn't have that right. you
Right,
know
right,
and,
right.
and especially you talking about during Jim Crow days and stuff like that, we weren't allowed to own the same type of weaponry that white people were allowed to own.
Mm.
Because again, it was the Jim Crow South. We were just out of slavery and all that type of stuff. So now that you have the right to own and bear the same arms as everybody else, you need to be doing that.
Mm. And as a military man, just quickly, how do you feel personally? I know you might not want to say too much. How do you feel having witnessed the government like taking advantage of the people? Just having that background as a military, does that do something to you personally?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because the whole goal of the military. So when you join the military and you take the oath to defend the Constitution, not the
Mm.
politician, not the
Ooh,
not the not the political ideology, but
okay.
you take the oath to protect the Constitution and protect the country from
Mm.
enemies, both foreign and domestic. Domestic means here on U.S. soil. So if you have somebody that is an enemy, to U.S. citizens and on the U.S. soil, even if it is a politician, even if it is somebody who is a fellow American, you have the right well, not the right, but the obligation and the duty to protect Americans from that. And so, yeah, it does a lot to me. I know she dropped off, but it does a lot to me, personally, to see that, and that's why, again, I'm just advocating, for people to exercise your Second Amendment rights and learning how to protect yourself on the basic level.
I'm here. I just wanted people to hear. I just got off screen so they can focus on you as former military, talking about what the military has an obligation and a duty to do to protect the Constitution, which is the Constitution, the laws of the land for our country.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not about this side or that side. It's about what is written in our Constitution. Excuse me. That is what we have to uphold. So if you have, I don't care if the commander-in-chief is going against the Constitution. Going against the Constitution, you don't side with the commander-in-chief. You side with the Constitution.
Wow. Having said that, Farmer Dre, this is something that I picked up. It is the United States Department of Defense Law of War Manual.
That's good.
And it talks about how if the government is rogue, the military can take over.
Absolutely.
And restore the republic, restore the laws of the land. So, and this is what we see happening actually right now. The National Guard was released, and they are literally making arrests. So I want to say to you, Farmer Dre, thank you for serving our country.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for your support.
Family, this is a former military man. Please hold your thought. Keep your thought. Former military man that's instructing us on how we can take control of our lives. Veterans have had it hard. People don't always respect them when they come back home. The government doesn't always give them benefits. In fact, government offices were raided, and I showed you all that in my FBI raid report, for not giving veterans their benefits, and many veterans have passed before they could even get them. So if you would love to support Farmer Dre and the work he's doing, please. Thank you, Sister Sheila. She's a great supporter of the show. Please send him a Cash App to $SAP Garden 1. I have a religious background. My brother and family, uncles are in the military, but we were taught that it's important that when somebody pours into you, pour into them. And that's why I'm an advocate for supporting you financially.
Thank you.
As well as, hearing what you have to share with the family. So what were you going to say, Farmer?
So I was going to say, in regards to both, the Second Amendment and your rights, we actually did a call last week in our tribe in school where I went through all of your basic amendment rights, all of the 10 amendments. What are your rights and everything, like freedom of speech, the right to bear arms, the right to, a fair trial, all that type of stuff. We went over all that. And also we have a category or a tab in our school community for weapons, and I'm teaching you on a basic level. I already posted one video in there, or 2 videos in there, just talking about basics of weaponry. And I'm going to get into even more as far as learning how to handle weapons, learning how to shoot, just basically my training from the military, being a marksman, what they taught us in the military. I'm going to be teaching you that in the tribe.
Wow, that's serious. Now, what happens if government officials, and you're going to talk about this in the tribe, if they come to your home, or just anybody, do you have a right to defend yourself if anybody comes to your home and does something that's
absolutely
not lawful? Okay.
Yep. You have the right to protect your home, against criminals, against, government organizations that's doing things unlawfully. Yes, you have the right to protect yourself. The only thing I would say is this, if you're going to be exercising your Second Amendment right and doing things like that, at least have some sort of insurance, when it comes to that, just in case because you may be defending yourself against somebody who may be trying to do you harm or rob you, and people can bring up lawsuits. People can try to bring up criminal charges. So at least if you have insurance and you can have a lawyer, you know what I'm saying? They can come in and defend you and get you off on those cases.
Okay. Thank you.
God forbid you ever have to use your weapon, but if you do, you want to be able to have, a good lawyer and different things like that.
Yes, sir. Somebody, while you were talking, asked where they can find you on YouTube. So I just brought up your page, and I'll put the link in the chat as well.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And so the last skill I would say learn is land navigation. This is again something else they taught us in the military, and I will be teaching that in the tribe. But land navigation is basically learning how to be guided and navigate the woods. So say you find yourself in the middle of the woods somewhere, knowing how to read a compass, knowing how to get from point A to
Mm.
point B if you're in the middle of the woods, or let's just say even if you don't have Google Maps. Back in the day when we used to take road trips, we used to have the physical maps. We didn't
We
have,
did.
yeah, we didn't have the GPS. I know I'm a little young, but I ain't that
I
young.
know, like you remember that?
Yeah, yeah. I'm that generation that was before technology a little bit, and then we
Mhm.
saw the introduction of technology. But learning how to read a map, that's one thing that they taught us. That was a requirement actually to even get through boot camp. Is you need to learn how to plot points on the map, grid coordinates, and learn how to get to those grid coordinates with only using a compass in a map. So learning how to shoot the compass, learning how to, what I'm saying, plot your points and all of that to see how long it's going to take you to get, thank you, Milton, to learn how long it's going to take you and what direction you need to go. But land navigation is absolutely important, especially if you're going to be buying property. Let's say you buy 40 acres and it's wooded mostly. You can get lost in the middle of those woods if you're just trying to, search a property and, just walk your property. What if you end up in the middle of the woods somewhere and you don't know how to get back? So learning how to shoot a compass. Also, if you're going to be hunting, you're going to be in the woods a lot. So learning how to navigate that land.
Awesome. So how many points did you give us today? I want to document them right quick.
Oh, that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
You did 12 that quick? Okay.
Yeah, 12
Okay.
skills.
12. So that's what we're going to name this. 12 skills for, what are you calling it?
Skills for survival, for preparation.
For 12 skills for preparation and survival.
Yeah.
Will this be in your on your Skool or on your website somewhere?
Absolutely.
So we can go back to it?
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. I'm actually gonna now that I prepared this lesson, I'm gonna make it a whole lesson.
Okay.
So yeah.
So I was thinking about just listing the 12 skills. Can you go just one by one what they were?
Yep. Gardening.
Okay.
First aid,
yes, sir.
Fishing.
3, fishing, yes, sir.
Foraging.
Foraging.
Yep, foraging.
Family, if I don't spell it correctly, please know that I'm doing my best. Okay, 5th.
Basic carpentry.
Carpentry. Well, Jesus was a carpenter for all y'all that are Christians. Okay, 6th.
Cooking outdoors.
Cooking outdoors, yes, sir. 7.
Water purification.
Water purification, yes, sir.
Butchery.
Butchery, yes, sir. 9.
Weaponry.
Weaponry, yes, sir.
And land navigation.
Land navigation. Okay.
So what is that, 10? I may have miscounted.
I got 10. Okay. So yes.
Okay.
So we'll stop at 10. You want to do 10? So we'll say 10?
Yep, 10.
That's perfect. 10 skills for preparation and survival. And he's going to go into detail and do a whole lesson for his tribe. But you have to join a membership group, I'm assuming, for that lesson. And I think that's good because the membership is only what, $12?
$15 a month.
$15 a month. And when I tell you, not only does he do lessons, he'll do lives like in Zoom calls.
Yep,
so
Zoom calls.
You can actually, while he's teaching a lesson, you can click in, if you have a question. And it's just a small group, not that small, but a group of people who are like-minded that want to learn from each other. So I would advise us to join the Skool, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So you talked about the 10 skills, and then you told me this morning about a bug out bag. Have you ever heard of that? Okay.
Absolutely.
What is that?
Thank you, Andra. You say what is a bug out bag? So
yes, sir.
This is my bug out bag right here. As you can see, it's like my military bag, but you can use any sort of book bag or anything like that. But basically what this bag is, it's like, say you're in a SHTF, what they call stuff hit the fan or crap hits the fan scenario, where you got to kind of get out real quick. Let's say you may be in the city, you want to get to the countryside, or it may be dangerous where you're at. You want to pick up and go. You just pick up this one bag, and it has pretty much everything you need in it.
Okay.
And so I'm going to go into, what should be in your bug out bag, what to buy, just outside of the bug out bag to be prepared. But I'm going to show you what's in my bug out bag first.
Okay. Yay. All right, family, hit that like button and put hashtag freedom now. Farmer Dre is teaching us how to be dependent. No longer are we depending upon the government. The government no longer exists. You are the government. Okay.
Yep.
So, oh, I got that wrong hashtag on it. Hashtag freedom now, please, family. Put that in the chat. He's about to show us how to take care of ourselves and have a bug out bag.
Absolutely.
We're ready.
First things first, flashlight. You
Okay.
know, if it's dark, you have something to and you know, batteries for the flashlight, of course, but having something to navigate in the darkness. So having a good quality flashlight. This is the ferro rod I was talking about, and this is a fire starter. And so basically all you do is you kind of like strike it and sparks will eventually come.
Wow. Okay. Oh, wow.
You know, and
I
so
see.
this is an unlimited match. If you have this will last you probably your whole life. So if you never have any other lighters or matches, you can use this ferro rod to start a fire. And these are nothing but like $7 to $8. And I will be so on my storefront, I will have all of these things, you know, the best price, the best quality. And you can just go ahead and buy it. So I'll come up with a whole collection as far as what needs to be in the bug out bag.
Well, what's that your Amazon storefront?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I want to just show them that you have that up for a minute. Hey, Farmer Dre, I hear chickens or roosters or something in the background. What's that I hear?
Yeah, that's my rooster.
Oh my God, I love that sound.
Yes, that's my rooster. Yeah.
It. Okay. What's the rooster's name?
Rudy.
Rudy the rooster.
Yeah, Rudy the rooster.
So tell us, what since you brought up the storefront, what tell us about the Amazon storefront? What is this here?
Yep. So so I have a collection of different books you'll need for different things. Essentials for if you want to become a butcher, essentials for if you want to raise chickens or what animals you want to raise. So I have different collections of all the different tools and materials you'll need for any endeavor you want. And so I will be thank you, John. I will be you know, coming out with the collection as far as bug out bag and preparedness and just different things to buy, to have, you know, just in case you need them.
Okay. And I'll put the link, all these links I'll put in the description section, but I'm dropping them in the chat as well. Yep. Okay, Farmer Dre.
All right. The next thing is a Gerber. This is something, again, from the military, but this is a multi-purpose tool. So as you can see, you got pliers on there. You got, you know, flathead screwdriver, Phillips head screwdriver. You got a nail file on here. You got a bottle opener on here. You got a knife on here as well. Knife, screwdrivers, and just different tools. You also got a little saw, mini saw right here. But it's a multi-purpose tool that, you know, you can pull out just in case you need to do anything. If you're building something, if you're trying to, you know, harvest an animal, if you're trying to, you know, fix on something, this tool right here is a multi-purpose tool that you can use, even protecting yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's got a knife on it too. So yeah, it's called a Gerber. You know, we actually used to carry these in the military a lot, you know, just when we'd be in the field and stuff, doing field training exercises. This is a Gerber. So that's that.
Sister Sheila says she has that one. That's cool.
Oh, you got a Gerber? Oh, that's amazing. All right, so next, little mini first aid kit. Like I say, first aid is one of the skills you want to have. So having just a basic first aid kit, you know, you got antibacterial stuff, you got band-aids, you know, itch relief. Say you come into some poison ivy or something, stuff for minor burns. So having a first aid kit.
Okay.
I carry this book. I swear by this book right here.
Okay.
This is also in my storefront. But if you were to just have one book to be prepared and to homestead, I would buy this book. It's called Back to Basics. It teaches you everything from buying land, working the land, raising livestock, generating your own energy, how to preserve food, how to build basic shelters, build barns and root cellars and all that type of stuff. As you can see, is right there. Back to Basics. I say buy this book right here.
Okay.
It teaches you how to I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying thank you. This is good to know.
Yeah, it teaches you how to process animals, how to dig a well. You know what I'm saying? Like, it teaches you all of that type of stuff. So this book right here, and I've taught many lessons out of this book, but I swear by this book, especially if you're going to be a homesteader, try to live off the land, or you're going to be a prepper, keep physical books, because the digital footprint may not always be here. We may not always have cell phones and computers, especially if we don't got electricity or the power grid or whatnot. Have physical books that you can that you can always refer back to.
And we could buy that from your Amazon store.
Yes.
Okay. I got the links in the chat for you, family. We'll put it in the description section as well.
All right. So this is it's called the personal water filter or a life straw. So this will purify water for you. So this straw has already a filtration system built in. So say for instance, you know, you don't have running water, nothing like that. You can go to a fresh water source, pond, lake, whatever, and you can use this straw and just drink fresh out the fresh water source, and it'll filter all of the bad stuff out. It's called a life straw. And this is in my I want to say this is in my storefront as well.
Okay. What's it called again?
A life straw.
Life straw.
Yep, life straw. This is what it looks like.
Okay.
And I would say have one of these for each person. Life straw.
Farmer Dre, do you have or have you considered doing a bug out bag and so we can just buy the whole bag from you with all the supplies?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do on my Amazon storefront. So when we're done with this, I'm gonna make a whole bug out bag essentials collection on my storefront. You can just buy everything you need.
You're awesome. Thank you so much. You are a blessing to the Soul Tribe.
Thank you. You are too. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Also, I got these water purification tabs. So you could drop these in water and it'll purify water as well. So say, because I'm actually working on like building a filter, showing people how to build their own water filter to filter out water as well. And so once you filter out that water, you can add these in there and it'll purify the water as well. So these are water purification tabs.
Okay.
Yeah, and it kills bacteria and stuff like that. So have that in your bug out bag.
I think I heard your Cashapp ding again.
Oh, I probably did. Hold on, let me see. John Griffin. Thank you, John Griffin.
Thank you, John Griffin. I'm gonna go ahead and send you something. Hold on 1 minute. Y'all got me motivated. I was gonna send them something, but I'm like, y'all not gonna outdo. It says I gotta send them brother something, right? So, family, if you are enjoying this, he's doing so much for the Soul Tribe. Please feel free to send him a Cash App at $ SAP Garden 1, SAP Garden 1, and he'll greatly appreciate it. So I'm gonna go ahead. I did a live last night, and you guys blessed me. So we're gonna share the wealth, and we're gonna send you something right now. Keep talking. I'm gonna send it while you're talking.
All right, thank you so much. And so this is the last thing I have in my bug out bag, but it's still more stuff I'm going to tell you about. But this is what you would call MREs, meals ready to eat. We used to eat these in the field all the time in the Army, but basically these have a long shelf life. These can last decades, up to a decade. And you can just store them away, and they are high calorie meals, just to get you through. One of these could last you a day. It could last you one meal, just depending on what you got, but having some sort of shelf stable, long lasting food or meal. It could be freeze dried foods. It could be MREs. It could be anything as far as like prep foods and stuff you can buy. But these last a long time. And like I say, they got high calories, so they'll be able to give you energy and kind of get you through in a survival scenario. So I keep one of these in my bug out bag as well.
Just one per person. So does everybody in the family need a bug out bag?
Yep.
Even the children?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Everybody needs a bug out bag. Now, of course, the children ain't got to have the book that I got or nothing like that. But like all the other stuff, like essentials, like the MREs, the life straws, the water purification tabs, the children need to have those as well.
I never heard of a life straw in all my 58 years. Never.
Wow. No. Yeah, no, life straws definitely. I heard about them a few years ago, and we just went ahead and bought them. Another thing too, have your weapon in your bug out bag, and also have a fishing pole on your bug out bag. I know I don't have my fishing pole on mine. I just came from fishing the other day, so I got to clean my fishing poles off. But I'll have a fishing pole too with my bug out bag as well, and a tackle box.
Okay. That was very, very good. Very good to know. And you'll be teaching this lesson as well in the school?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So some additional things that you can have just outside of the bug out bag is a seed vault. That's first and foremost, because like I say, gardening is one of the skills you want to have. But having a seed vault ensures that, hey, I got seeds that's going to last me, that whenever I want to grow food, I got not the library, but the vault of seeds. And this is what mine looks like right here. So we just buy these. This is like a little container that has different compartments in it, and so this is how we store our seeds. And so it's got these different compartments. We just label it, and in each one of these, we have different packs of seeds. So this is
Wow.
our tomatoes. Like we got different tomato seeds, so we're able to grow year after year. And a lot of times we don't even got to go buy seeds because we've been collecting them. So this is very, very inexpensive right here. You could buy these.
So that came with the seeds already in it?
No.
Okay.
We bought the seeds separate, but the container we bought, it was inexpensive. And then you just collect seeds over time. You find deals, maybe at Lowe's or maybe at the dollar store, and you just buy packs here and there. And you just put them in here.
Okay, I'm gonna let you keep talking. I'm gonna pause my screen. You can keep talking, but I have a son who's traveling. I want to take his call for a second.
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes. So get you a seed vault right here, right? This is just different compartments and stuff with different seeds. Another thank you, who is it? Mahalia, and thank you, Macarius. Appreciate y'all. A fishing rod and a tackle box as well. Go ahead. You can go to Walmart and you can get just a very inexpensive fishing rod and a beginner tackle box. If you live by fresh water, then get a freshwater tackle. If you live by salt water, get a saltwater tackle box. Hand tools, screwdrivers, Gerbers, hammers, just different things, hand tools, saws, axes, just different things where you can cut down trees if you need to, build certain things if you need to. So hand tools, invest in hand tools. Ferro rod, like I talked about earlier, what was in my bug out bag. Get you a ferro rod. That way, if you don't got matches, you don't have a lighter, you have something where you can start a fire, which is a ferro rod. Flashlights, walkie-talkies, just in case, let's just say the power goes down or whatever, you're still able to communicate with your family. Walkie-talkies. A generator. Everybody, I feel like every family needs a generator.
Okay.
Just for a backup power source, just in case your power goes out. It could, like I say, it could be a thunderstorm, it could be a hurricane, all the way up into the extreme. But have a generator that can either run off of solar or gas. That way, power go out, you still got something that can, charge up your batteries. If you got deep freezers or anything like that need to be hooked up to electricity, get yourself a generator. I have a Predator 3500 watt generator. You could buy from Harbor Freight. I think I bought it for around like $500. But there are different options. You have dual purpose generators that can run off propane, of gasoline. You also have solar generators as well.
Thank you. Now, on the Cashapp, is it you're DeAndre?
Yes.
I just want to make sure. Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right.
And 55-gallon drums or IBC totes. Oh man, that's a lizard. Scared me. Or IBC totes. So you can store water. You can have a water storage. So those big 55-gallon drums, let's say it rains and stuff, and you can, if you know how to filter rainwater, you can collect rainwater in those big old totes or those big old drums, and that way you'll have a reserve of water that you can always access. Shout out to one of my tribe members, Michelle. Oh, thank you, Dr. Kia. Shout out to one of my tribe members, Michelle. She lives out in Arizona. Matter of fact, she has a channel too. It's called AZ Sunset Homestead. Okay. But they live out there, so they have to have like water storage and water reserves because they live out a lot of times in the desert and drier climates. And so she kind of knows how to go about that as well. But having a backup water source, so in addition to the life straw, learning how to filter water, have you a few 55-gallon drums or IBC totes full of water just in case the water goes out.
This is all good to know. Wow.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Livestock. If you got a yard, I would say go ahead and try to invest in 5 chickens, 5 laying hens that can lay you eggs. If you got a nice piece of property, go ahead. You could buy large livestock, small livestock, but at least try to keep some livestock on your property if you can, if you have the property for it, and try to kind of breed so that way you can kind of be, independent and self-sufficient in that way as well.
Sister Janine, who is our moderator, says, remember battery operated night lamps as well.
Oh, yes. Yep. That's good too. That is good too.
And batteries. Did you mention batteries too?
Yep, batteries. Batteries for your flashlight.
Okay, so you should just, because I was going to ask you what size battery should you get. I guess you just have to know what kind of equipment you have.
Yeah, what kind of equipment? So if you got flashlights or you got walkie talkies, just whatever it takes, double A, triple
Okay.
A. But also too, and I'm looking into this as well. So like for different equipment that I may have, I'm gonna look into like solar powered equipment. So that way I don't have to
Mm,
depend on batteries a lot of times.
mm. Yeah, because I know in Tennessee there was this storm. Like I want to say it was either this winter or early spring. Here it was warm here. They had a horrible storm in Tennessee. My
Hmm.
friend was shut in, but he found his way out and he went to his sister's house,
Mm,
and he was like, well, they got a generator there, but
yeah,
there was no but they still there was no way to get it
turn it
working.
on. Oh
Yes.
yeah. And see, it could have been it. I'm not sure if it's a gas generator, but if it was, it could have been the gas was old and had sat too
Mm,
long. Because
mm.
it's important that with your tools, with your equipment, you always at least monthly try to turn it on and run it. So like your lawnmower, your
Okay.
generators, different things like that. Just making sure it works monthly. Like just in case you
Mm,
let if you let your car sit too long, you know what I'm saying? It may not crank up. The battery
mm,
might be dead or something. So same thing with the generator. A lot of times, if you let the generator sit over winter time, the gas and the water will begin to separate, and then you try to crank it
mm.
up, and it won't crank up. So
Oh
you, a
my
lot of times
God.
you have to drain that gas and put new gas in there.
Wow. Wow. Thank
Yep.
you. Thank you. Right. Solar power chargers. Thank you, family, for adding to the conversation. We appreciate you.
Yep. Another
Somebody said
thing.
they needed they're saying
Oh,
somebody said in the chat, I needed this conversation.
oh, for sure. No, absolutely. It's important that we all brush up on these skills as well. And I'm glad you brought this up because it got me even thinking. Because I'm like, man, I need to go out and prep some more.
Yeah.
You never can have too much stuff.
And now that you have this information, which you've had it already,
Hmm.
now you're blessing us. Some of
Absolutely.
the things we never thought of,
Hmm.
is this coming up in this conversation. Here's a quick question from Daryl. He asks, should we put copper in the 55-gallon drums to keep everything clean?
Yeah, yeah, you could do that. But as long as you filter it good, it should be good. But yeah, you could put copper in there, and different things like that to make sure it stays good. You could do that.
Hmm.
Uh, so another thing too, pocket knife, Gerber tool, but also get you an emergency shelter like a tent or a tarp. So
Oh,
you can go buy tarps from Walmart, Harbor Freight. They're like $5-10 maybe.
okay.
But say you're stranded in, and you can put that in your bug out bag as well. Say you're stranded out in the woods somewhere and it begins to rain or snow. At least
Hmm.
you got a tarp that can provide you cover. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Or a tent
yes.
that can provide you cover from the elements. So you can
Mm,
keep that in your bug out bag as well.
okay.
And if you live in colder climates, invest in a heavy duty sleeping bag. That will thermal blankets. Who said that? Sec me, whoever
A
said that. But yeah,
segment fire goddess.
yep, thermal blankets is great as well. So I
Mm,
know we live in the southeast. It don't really get too cold. But if you
mm,
live like somewhere in the Midwest where you get blizzards or up north, then invest in a high quality sleeping bag that can keep you warm. So in addition to
mm,
the shelter, like your tent or your tarp that you build, get you a high quality sleeping bag that you could just bundle up in and be warm and not freeze to
mm,
death.
mm. And we're going to get to some more of your questions, family, as soon as he finished giving all his points.
Yep. The next thing is disinfecting things like bleach, vinegar. Just having those things around. You can stock up on those things even in your home.
Mm,
Ammunition. Again, I'm a Second Amendment guy. Like it's crazy because right before the first pandemic hit, it was just I had an inkling in my spirit to go out and start stocking up on ammunition, and that's what I
wow.
was doing. And I was buying ammunition like crazy. And my wife she thought I was crazy. And I was like, no, like I'm just preparing just in case. I just had
Wow.
a feel, and this was before we even knew about the virus or whatnot. I just started doing that. And then
Mm,
lo and behold, when the pandemic came, ammunition, first off, a lot of certain ammunitions you couldn't find. 9
mm,
millimeter, you couldn't find 223, 5.56. You couldn't find those calibers of rounds. Or if you could, the prices were jacked up and you were limited in how much you can buy. But I had already
what?
bought a lot of them. Yes.
Wow.
I had already bought a lot of them. And you can go to Walmart, you can go to any sport and goods store, and you can buy what you call ammo cans, which is basically like a container where you can store your ammunition.
Mm. Mm,
for your
that's
wedding.
good to know. That's good to know. And last time during the pandemic in Kentucky, that's
Mhm.
where Breonna Taylor had lost her life. So there was a lot
Yes.
of protesting,
Yep.
and the protests kind of got out of hand. You had
Yep.
Antifa, Black Lives Matter,
Yep.
all these Soros funded groups
Yep.
that were there that was actually, tearing up
Yeah. I I
buildings.
actually I actually went to Louisville, Kentucky right after that. And I saw
Wow.
all of the stuff like because I had to go to Fort Knox for a course when I was in the military, but I saw all of that. So it was crazy.
You know that 40% of downtown is still shut down from that?
Really?
They
Wow.
destroyed buildings, ATM
Mm.
machines. If a person didn't have Black Lives Matter in their window, they
Mhm.
destroyed restaurants,
Yeah,
offices. It was really out of control.
it
And they
was.
were
Yeah,
even starting to get to the point where they were like breaking into mom and pop shops. It got really bad. And I
it
think,
did.
they were just, because people can get riled up and they can also be incited to do
Yes.
things, right?
Yep. Like you
So
say, Antifa and all that.
you got to protect your home. It got to the point where like the elderly was afraid to go outside. They couldn't go get their food. They couldn't go to the ATM machines. They were
Mm.
they were afraid. And then you
Right.
had National Guard on the ground fighting back because
Yeah.
it was curfew.
Yeah.
Remember, we were under lockdown.
Yep.
People were still rioting and
Yep.
protesting. It got so out of control that people are like, we need ammunition to protect our homes and our
Absolutely.
communities
Yes.
from the mayhem, because it was literally a war right on the street. Like you said, you saw
Hmm.
how it was, and forty
Yeah.
percent of downtown still shut down.
Wow. I didn't know it was still shut down, but yeah, when
Yeah,
I went, everything was boarded up, and it was chaos. So
it,
yeah,
it
that's.
was.
But like you said, that lets you know, hey man, I need to have some sort of protection just in case
Mhm,
people are
mhm,
incited again.
mhm. Can
Yep.
you speak to, as because I know you were trained in the military, from an emotional standpoint?
Hmm.
How would you say we should be looking at all of this with pandemic rumors, the antivirus is spreading, lockdowns may be coming. And from an emotional standpoint, being a military man, how should we be thinking?
Honestly, I would say um, emotions should remain private as far as how you, because everybody got the right to
Mm,
feel how they want to feel. But I
okay.
feel like it should be viewed from a logical and strategical lens. Because
Mm,
sometimes you got to put your emotions and your feelings to the back burner so you can actually focus on the solution in a logical manner, because emotions can cloud different things. And as you can see, when people get emotional and emotional responses happen, nothing good rarely comes from it. You know
yeah.
what I mean? And so it's
Mhm.
important that we don't let our emotions rule us when we're seeing different things that's going wrong and that may be going wrong. We don't let that get the best of us. We say, okay, we're going to observe and we're going to act accordingly, and
Mm,
we're going to strategically move. Because see, this the thing. Like if you on the battlefield and the enemy, is laying down heavy fire, you can want to get mad all you want to, but you can get mad and try to do emotional response, and you can end up getting yourself killed in war. Versus,
mm,
all right, let me see their position. Let me strategize. Yeah, it's not the most convenient thing, but let me see how we can return fire and eliminate the threat. So we need to put
mm.
emotions to the kind of back burner and put on our logical and our strategic caps to
Okay.
think about, like it's like playing chess. I'm a chess player,
Hmm.
and so a lot of times when I'm playing chess, somebody beating me, I want to get in my feelings, but it's like, don't get mad, get better.
Ooh, okay.
You
Okay.
know, get
Mm,
better
mm,
positioning. You know,
mm.
because the whole goal is checkmate, not how many pieces you lose in the meantime. I can lose
Mm,
all my pieces, and as long as I checkmate you, I win the game.
that's right. Wow. Wow.
Yep,
Thank you. Thank you
yep,
so much.
most definitely. Thank you, Az Sunsets Coleman. Thank you so much for that. And the
Thank
last
you.
thing I would say too, in addition to all the emergency supplies I just named, get some disinfectant soap as well.
Okay.
Because I know a lot of people like, oh, you need soap and stuff to clean your body, but get disinfectant soap particularly,
Mm, mm.
because you may be outside or exposed to different things, but you need some sort of soap that's going to be able to disinfect, things off of you.
Wow. This has been so informative. I'm very appreciative and grateful that you took the time away from your very busy business and family to share
Yeah,
with the Soul Tribe. Do you
anytime.
have any time for questions? I know we've been
Absolutely.
okay,
Absolutely.
okay. So family, thank you so much for the fire emojis. Thank you for the hashtag freedom now in the chat. Thank you for all of the donations that you sent to me to support the Dr. Kia Pruitt Show. And thank you so much for supporting our farmer, Farmer Dre. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat. Drop
Yep,
them in the
absolutely.
chat right now, and Farmer Dre will get to those. We don't want to keep him too much longer, though. So let's just give him some time to compose himself, drink some water, whatever he wants to do while you go ahead and put some
Yeah.
questions in the chat.
I know somebody asked earlier, do I have Instagram? And yes, I do have
You
Instagram.
do. Okay.
Hold on, let me I want to say it's just Set Apart Gardens, but let me see what my exact name on there is. Yep, Set Apart Gardens _. So if you want to find us on Instagram, Set Apart Gardens _.
Well, I'm gonna look for it. Set apart gardens. Oh, I think I see you. Let me see. Any other questions? Oh, I just had it. Family. And if you see the questions, because while I'm looking for you.
Oh yeah, I'm looking through the chat right now to see if I see any.
Okay. Set apart gardens _. I was up doing a live late with Chief Rod Hayes. We were on for like 4 hours last night,
Really?
so I'm still trying to get myself together. Yes, sir. Yes.
I got you. Janine say Ollie's have tarps as well. Ollie's is a great store that have affordable, prices on just about anything that you can want. Yep, that's it right there.
Okay.
So
She's former military. She's former military, by the way.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you for your service, Janine. But if you have an Ollie's in your area, definitely check it out. Ollie's, Harbor Freight, what else? Tractor Supply or your local feed store. And Facebook Marketplace. You can a lot of times buy a lot of these things secondhand on Facebook Marketplace.
Okay.
And save a lot of money. Or even get them for free. You can get some things for free.
Okay. Wow. Free.
Somebody say, where in South Florida is he? No, I'm actually in South Georgia, not South Florida. And at this point, we don't sell produce locally. We just pretty much grow for our family. But we do offer courses and workshops to where people can come out and learn. So as if you go on my website, you'll see when our next upcoming workshops are.
And while he's looking in the chat there to answer questions, if you all have any questions here on Instagram, because you're not a part of the big chat, I'll look for those. Oh, what you say? Virgin Islands, Taino tribe loves all of you forever. We love you in America. We love all of you immortality. We've all been watching. Thank you for watching from the Virgin Islands. I appreciate that, Taino tribe. God bless you.
Absolutely. Shout out to the Virgin Islands.
That's right. I know there's a British territory and then there's a U.S. territory. So I appreciate all of you. And I listed the 10 skills or 10 things he said, skills for preparation for survival. That's gardening, first aid, fishing, foraging, carpentry, cooking outdoors, water purification, butchery, weaponry, and land navigation.
Yep.
Just to reiterate.
Absolutely. And I will be having everything you need as far as preparation in your bug out bag in my Amazon storefront. So that way you could just go and pick out what you want or buy the whole thing or whatever. And I'm going to make it affordable because here's the thing too. A lot of times they'll tell you, oh, you got to go buy this high end stuff. But no, you can buy the affordable things and they'll work just as good. You know what I mean? And so I'll definitely make it cost effective for you guys because I know a lot of people are beginners and I know a lot of people are on budgets as well. So I want to be mindful of that.
And this is his Amazon storefront. It's going to be in the description section too. He got some of the things here that he listed. He has them on the storefront, but he's also going to put together a bug out bag for us to purchase. So make sure you go to Amazon shop, his Amazon shop at Set Apart Gardens there. And I'll put that in the chat as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Kia.
You're welcome. It's our pleasure.
And if you guys want like the rest of the lesson, I'll probably do a video either today or it'll definitely be by the end of this week with everything that I did, for this lesson, what to do in the case of an emergency, including what I just talked about. But I have even more. So if you want that information and you want that whole step-by-step guideline, definitely subscribe to the tribe.
And how did you say we can subscribe to the tribe again?
The Skool platform. You just
Okay.
go and do the membership on Skool,
Let me put,
the link
okay.
that you provided. And it's only $15 a month. And with that, you get all of this and then some. So
Mm.
anytime we're doing, like, say we do a workshop on the land, whether it be a
Mm-hmm.
gardening workshop or a butchery workshop, everything will be live streamed to the tribe.
Hmm. Okay. So that is school
Mhm.
skool.com, and then you slash set apart. But I'm going to put the link in the chat for you all and in the description section just to make it easy for you.
Son of Yah say, are you close to Atlanta? No. I'm probably like 4 hours from Atlanta, but I'm always in the Atlanta area. My mom actually stays up that way, so I'm in that area a lot. Specifically,
Mhm.
like south of Atlanta, Peachtree City, Noonan, all that type of stuff.
Mhm. So you have like a school tribe, but then there's a private group on YouTube as well. Is
Yes.
there a difference?
Yes. The Skool tribe has more to offer as far
Okay.
as the workshops, the courses, the classroom,
Mm.
the Zoom calls. And the one on YouTube, I do live videos exclusively for the SAP tribe members on YouTube, and also you get the early releases of videos. A lot of my
Mm.
live streams and stuff like that, I have made them members only, so you get access to exclusive content, in YouTube, the tribe on YouTube.
Okay. Okay. And I'm going to pull up that for the Soul Tribe again. So he's on YouTube. He's on Instagram. He's on Facebook as well, and he
Yep.
has a school platform. So there's plenty of places we can find his work, and they'll all be in the description
Yep.
section for you, and the links are in the chat.
Thank you, Bartolo. Thank you. And somebody asked, how do I keep the bugs from eating my leafy plants, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage? So there's a few different things you can do. Just try out. Seven Dust is one of them. You can go buy that from Lowe's or any big box store. But Seven Dust is not as, like, harmful as other different pesticides people may spray. So a lot of it is kind of like organic. But Seven Dust. But also, say you don't want to do that, you can take cayenne pepper, maybe like 2 tablespoons or something like that. Mix it with water. Mix it with like a cup of water, and you can spray that around. You can also do neem powder mixed with water, vinegar and water. But just trying different things. But those are some of the things you can try to see what kind of works. But one thing that we found success with is we lay down landscape fabric, and we cut holes in it, and we just plant right there. So that way, it doesn't, the bugs and stuff that may be in the soil that may come up and try to eat those plants, they can't come through that landscape fabric. So we found great success with that.
Thank you. We have almost 1,000 people in the chat. Make sure you hit the
Oh, wow.
like button, family, and subscribe to the channel. Also, feel free to support Farmer Dre as you all are doing. We thank you so very much.
Absolutely.
Someone asked, oh, that's the wrong one. Someone asked about his Cash App. It is $SAP Garden 1, $SAP Garden 1 for Set Apart Garden, SAP Garden 1.
Yep, absolutely.
Any other questions, family? Thank you for your fire emojis and hashtag freedom now. It feels so good to know that we're in control of our own lives. It's going to be a little challenging, because we're used to the government and we used to everything being a certain way. But now it things are shutting down. So we got
things are changing.
Mm-hmm.
Things are changing. And shout out to my wife. She's in the chat as well.
Hey, where's your wife?
She's Mr. and Mrs. Set Apart.
Oh, I missed it. Hi, wife. Thank you so much for sharing your husband with the Soul Tribe. We appreciate you. Family, let's send him a few dollars so he can give his wife some flowers. We just had Mother's Day.
Yeah.
She's a co-owner of the business. She's raising those beautiful babies and teaching them at home.
Absolutely.
Wow, he's doing the work as well to teach the Soul Tribe. So let's give her some flowers. Let's send him a few more dollars to.
Tony Hood say, if we don't have Cash App, if you don't have Cash App, so I got PayPal as well.
Oh, you do? Let
Tony
me put
Hood,
that. Okay, you might have sent that to me,
I think I forgot, but my email is dre@setapartgardens.com. That's what my PayPal is connected to.
Dre. Okay, wait a minute. Dre
at
spell it out.
DRE@SETAPARTGARDENS.com.
Okay, I do know how to spell tribe, but sometimes I get tripped up. So If you want to support Farmer Dre by PayPal, then let's see if I got that correct. DREA Dre at
Yep.
setapartgardens.com.
Yep.
SETAPARTGARDENS. So that's
Yep.
plural.com.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, family. Thank you, Tony. Tony's a big supporter of the show. He's been on here for years. Thank
Oh, okay.
you.
Shout out to you, Tony. Thank you.
Sister Janine said, tell him to check his Cash App. I just sent.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't even
She's our
see.
moderator.
Okay, I got you.
It might be, it might say Mayoshi.
Mayoshi. Oh, it didn't come through yet. But shout out to AZ Sunsets. Shout out to you, Dr. Kia, Mahalia, Macarius, John, Andra, Milton, Sharon, and Sheila. Thank you all.
Thank you, family. Sister Janine, did you send it through Cash App? It didn't come through yet, or PayPal. Because he might have to check his PayPal. Thank you, family, for supporting the Farmer of the Soul Tribe. He's getting us together. So if you're just checking in, we've been talking about how a lot is going on behind the scenes and at the forefront. Gas prices going up,
Yes.
people losing their jobs, a new variant of the virus spreading, a lot. So just in case, we have like a power outage. There were power outages that were reported too, or there's some type of orchestrated, man-made natural disaster, or a shutdown, or a pandemic. How would you prepare? So Farmer Dre has taught us how to prepare in case of an emergency.
Someone asked, am I near Milledgeville? I'm about 3 hours from Milledgeville.
Do you do in-person training?
I can, absolutely. But yeah, people can come to our, our property and they can learn from here. Or if people want me to come to them, I can come to them as well.
That is big. Okay, Sister Janine says she sent you something through Cash App.
Oh, yes, I got it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Mayoshi Davis.
Yes.
Yep, thank you. Thank you, Bartolo. Thank you as well.
God is good. I love the exchange of energy. You bless us with information, we bless you.
Absolutely.
Money is energetic.
Yes, it is. It definitely is. I appreciate you. It's a privilege to just be able to teach the people, and that's my main goal as far as even with my channel. That's why I was led to even start my channel, is to bring this, first off, warning, but also bring the solution, because I feel like on social media, problems are talked about a lot, but solutions aren't provided.
That's true. I'm sorry. I say my Oshi. I'm sorry. I do it all the time. It's me, Oshi. I'm sorry.
Sorry about that, Miyoshi.
I do it all the time. I'm the one that said it. What's his Cash App again? Okay, I'll put it up. It is $SAPGARDN1. $SAPGARDEN1.
And can I add this too real
Absolutely.
quick? Because I know in the email you said, how can local farmers help?
Yes.
And so a few things I want to suggest is the first thing people can start doing now with local farmers is, if your local farmers are offering classes, start taking those classes, where they may be teaching you how to plant trees or plant produce or crops, or just different workshops to show you the land. Take some of those courses. Also, network with the local farmers and develop a transactional relationship. See what they sell, and see pretty much what you can buy from them. But the last thing is this: don't put too much on the local farmers, because yes, you want to get those transactional relationships, you want to be able to buy from them, but a lot of people, especially in the time of need, if it was to ever come, a lot of people are going to be going to the local farmers. But we should want to take some of that burden off of them by learning how to do some of these things ourselves. So if the local farmers can teach you, because what's the old saying? You teach a man how to fish, or you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. You teach a man how to fish, then he'll be able to feed himself for life. So your farmers can teach you how to grow, teach you how to fish, teach you how to do these things. Learn these things from them, so you can ease the burden off of them as well in an event of a survival scenario. That way, they're not the ones who have to carry out a responsibility.
I love that. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I do depend a lot on my local farmers. I go to the farmers market and I exchange numbers with them. one of the reasons why I think it's a good idea to have relationship with local merchants is because when they have new things to come in, or they know my grandchildren like certain things, they'll call me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
my local grocery store is not gonna call me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, definitely. That's why I say develop that transactional relationship where you can buy from them. Absolutely. And you know, of course, spend money with them. But like I say, in the event of a survival scenario, you know, kind of learn some of these things yourself too to kind of ease the burden. But right now, yeah, go spend all the money with them and all that type of stuff. Somebody just sent me a Cash App. Well, two people actually. Thank you, Ceylon, and thank you, Carrie Morganson. Thank you so much.
God is so good. I appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, what was your I'm gonna put it up here. What was your PayPal again?
Dre at setapartgardens.com.
Okay. Dre. I'm asking because I put it in the chat, but now I want to create a banner. Dre at Set Apart Gardens. Any more questions, Soul Tribe? Here you go. There it is. There's his PayPal. Dre at setapartgardens.com. You can also send him a Cash App. Thank you, family.
Yeah.
Let's do one or two more questions, then I'm going to ask him for his final words, family.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'm going to have to jump off in just a few seconds.
Okay. Any more questions? Let's see. Okay. I don't see any more questions. Somebody might be thinking of a question. So what are the final words that you want to leave us with?
What I would say, and sorry for the background, I guess the ambulance is riding by. I'm going to let them pass real quick.
Okay. Soul Tribe, put hashtag freedom now, because we're talking about freedom and sovereignty, how you can gain control as a sovereign individual of your life. Somebody had put in the chat earlier, Dr. Pruitt, you said the government is in control, lost control. They're dissolved. President Trump made that announcement. The Treasury Department said that they're insolvent. So you ask, who's in control now? You.
Yep.
You are in control of your life. You are in control of your family. You are in control of your tribe, your food, and your resources. And I yield to Farmer Dre.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And what I would say is this: just remember, proper preparation prevents poor performance. You can never be too prepared. In these times, we have to get rid of naivety, and we have to understand that just because we may turn a blind eye to problems and different things we see, doesn't mean that they will go away. You know what I'm saying? If you see things going wrong, always prepare for it, even if you feel like it's not going to affect you, because you'd rather be safe than sorry in these times. So I say everybody start where you're at in any way you can. If you can't afford to buy everything for a bug out bag, just buy a few things. You know, just put things aside. You know, every time you get paid, you spend $15 here, $10 there. Start small. You don't have to start big and go out and buy everything right now. Just buy certain things and store them away. And then as you get more money, just store them away and have that reserve, because it will give you a peace of mind in these times. And you know, go on YouTube, go on all these platforms and learn what you can, learn the skills. Start off with just learning one skill right now. And after you learn that one skill and get familiar with it, then you can add on another. Because when you try to bite off much more than you can chew, then it just ends up, you know, discouraging you, and then you'll end up quitting. But just start with one skill, start with a few things, and then you can expand off of that.
I love that. Thank you so much, Farmer Dre. Thank you for your knowledge, your wisdom, your information, your Amazon storefront, and all of your channels. Also, thank you for the Skool. You're welcome. He has a Skool, Skool, Set Apart Gardens. I have dropped the links in the chat. I'll make sure it's in the description of this video. Subscribe to Farmer Dre. I think he goes by Set Apart Gardens on all his social media. So we will make sure all those links are in the description section. Hit that like button, family. Let us know you appreciated this conversation. I want to see some fire emojis right now, family, and hashtag freedom now, because we are sovereign. Thank you so much, Farmer Dre.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Kia, for having me.
You're welcome. And thank you to your wife. Thank you, Mrs. Farmer Dre. I don't know.
I'll definitely let her know.
Okay, we look forward to having you back on the show. Anything you want us to know, anytime you want to come on, just let us know, Farmer Dre. We appreciate you. We love you and your family and all the work you're doing for us. Bye-bye.
Love y'all too. Y'all have a good one.
So, family, we're going to go out with a song. He had to go. I appreciate you all so much. This is so tried, family. I saw the question on oil lamps. Reach out to Farmer Dre. I know he had to go. He said that he had to go to attend to some other business, but I'll leave all of his links in the description section. Please subscribe to the Dr. Kia Pruitt Show. I'm on YouTube. You subscribe to the channel. I have the links to all of the videos that I've been bringing up and all of the interviewers. That's it, family. Take care. Go out, make this a great day. I love you all. And I suppose while I still have you on, I can say thank you to those of you who blessed me with a gift. Let me see. Thank you for all the gifts, family. Thank you for your time, your energy, your cooperation, all the hashtags. I love that. Let me see who sent the gift. Been having issues with my Cashapp. 1 minute. The Cashapp is working, but I can't see who all sent me something. Hold on. Let me see if I can see this. Yes, I see it. All right. Thank you, Sister Brenda. Thank you, Bartolo. I appreciate your gift. Thank you, Milton. Thank you so much. Who else? John, thank you very much. Sister Pam, Sister Brenda, Sister Rena, thank you for your Cash App blessing. Sister Brenda again. Nagani, beautiful name, thank you. Deetris, thank you. Miller, thank you. Gianna, thank you. Delilah, I love the name. Thank you. Look at these beautiful names. Thank you, King Harold. Thank you so much. Thank you, Reginald. Sheila, Sister Kenya, Sister Elizabeth, Sister Regina, thank you. Brother Scott. Lee, thank you. Brother Michael, Brother Terrence, Empress Evelyn, thank you. And Sister Norma, Brother David, and Sister Sharon and Nisha. Thank you so much for all the Cash App gifts, family. You're amazing. Thank you for the gifts. You're welcome. The fire emojis. I love you all so much. Salute, family. Peace and love to you too. So let's go out listening to our Soul Tribe song. I implore you and encourage you to enjoy the rest of your day. You heard from Farmer Dre, and I'm Dr. Kia Pruitt. I trust that we've said something to raise your vibrations and inspire you to create the most amazing, magnificent life that you desire.
Raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia shows the way to a brighter, freer day. Soul Tribe rising, hear a call. Raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia lights the way to a new and brighter day.
See you later, Soul Tribe. Go out and make this a great day. And remember, you are the captain of your life, as Brother Tony said in the comments section. You are in control. I am in control. We're sovereign, free beings on the land. No matter where you're tuning in from, you are now in control. So take authority and control, because no government exists. And all over the world, republics are being returned. Governments are being returned back to the tribes and back to the people on the land. We love you. Remember to subscribe to Set Apart Gardens on all social media platforms, and we'll leave the links to all of his information in the description section. Shout out to all of you for being so amazing. Shout out to you for supporting the Soul Tribe and for listening and sharing your energy, your comments, your questions, your financial donations. I honor you and I appreciate you and I love you very much.